Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today we are going to do the final refinement of this field maple forest, and it will be something very easy, basic, but very important. Bud selection and the removal of the branches we do not need. So let's come a little closer and see what we can do. So before we do anything else, I'd like to point out something that I did. I told that this was the main tree, and here we had a problem with, well, all the trees are, all the branches are going sideways or in the back. So we need something in the front. So I made an incision, 2 incisions here, and I chipped out a piece of wood. I included this branch. And as you see, now it is well wrapped in raffia, and this is a final shoot of a branch, so it's going to grow probably very fast and very strongly. So I'm pretty sure that at the end of the growing season this will be fused, and I will have some branch here which resolve the problem. So if you look at the little branch that comes here, you see that we have a bud here. We do not want this bud, so I can remove it, and there is another one of course on the other side, so I'm going to remove it too, because what I want is the most growth for this bud. So if these don't have to open, well, probably these will open better and faster. So I can remove also these buds, which I of course will do. And you see I'm using my very sharp scissors for this, so I just can lift them a little, the buds, and then give them a little push, and they will fall off quite easily. So of course I'm not gonna do every tree and commenting on every snip that I make, but I'd like to point out a few things. So, for example, this tree, let's zoom in. Here we have little branches at the bottom, which we can use if we want to thicken the trunk here, but this tree has already a nice taper, so I don't really need these branches here. They are just take away the sap that I could use somewhere else. So these ones I'm going to remove. These little ones, and there's one here and at the back, but I don't think you can see it. And try to get the cuts as clean, as close to the trunk as you can. They will heal faster. Now I don't have a branch here, which is a little bit sad, because if I had a branch or a bud here, I would let it grow at least for a year, because it would close this gap. Now I have a little branch here and I have one here. Because this is the side of the forest, it would be nice to have some branching here, so I'm going to leave these. Of course, afterwards you have to clean up the mess you made. Now if we move up this tree, we see that these trees, these maples, are really dominant at the top. Now it is of course very nice to have a whole lot of branches, but they don't have to become too long. We have a final bud here, and then we have always 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. So here we have buds just at the start of the branch, near the trunk. It is not important to have branches here, because, well, it is even not desirable, because you're gonna have something that splits in 3. You don't want that. Now if we see here, we have 2 nice buds, we have 2 little ones, and of course they will tell you to cut back to 2 buds, but this is not really necessary. You can always say, well, I can cut here, that's a possibility. Then I have a very short branch, it will start to grow, and 2 will make 3, and so on. But what I can do is remove this one. That's what I'm going to do. I remove this one, so 1 becomes 2, and here further these 2 will become 4, so I gain a little bit. Always best to cut off all the final buds on every tree. So, and now let's see this tree in the back. Okay, so this is the tree we were working on. You see we have a huge branch here, and at the top, at the base of the trunk, we have these 2 little shoots which we cannot use, so get rid of that. Then we have a big branch here which is going up and then starts to split nicely. But if I see the apex here, we have also little branches, so probably this one is not going to be interesting, so I can remove it completely. Always leave a stump with maples, always. Then I see that this branch is splitting here. Okay, we see this piece here which is absolutely not good, it's horrible. We have branches going straight up. It's really not an interesting branch. So what can we do? We have a little bud here. That's not well positioned. Okay, so nothing here is good. So I can cut back to here and start with this as a back branch, which is a possibility. I also could cut back all the growth here and hope that a new bud will come here. That's possible. But since I am not in a hurry, I'm just going to cut off a whole piece and work with what I have here. It will also give a good taper to this tree. Here we have a little shoot on the side. Not needed because I have this. To finish this tree, I have a dead stump here and it's pointing right to the sky, so no way. This might be interesting. This is growing down, so this is absolutely not good. Branches don't grow down. And I think that's about it for this tree. Just the apex now. Okay, the apex, I see a dead stump here right in the front. Of course, you don't want dead stumps. And we see a whole lot of buds, which is of course very nice, because it means that the tree is alive. But you see, if you compare this to the lower part, we have tons of buds here. So in the apex, it is a good idea to be a little more severe and cut back a little more. You don't want buds and branches everywhere in your apex, because it's going to thicken the apex. You lose taper and it's going to make a whole chaotic tree, which you do not want. Okay, so this is from another tree, it's the neighbor. So I think this is okay. We have just a little shoot here growing down. This one is going up, which is okay, because I can still wire it down if I want to. But no, I have 2 buds here, so this one can be removed definitely. So there is no, how should I say, there is no golden rule. You have to see what you have to see where you want to go. So I'm going to continue the work on this tree, and I'm going to film every now and then a few seconds. I won't move the tree, I won't move the camera, well, I hope it is possible. And then you will probably see what's going on and how it evolves in this little movie. So probably a whole lot of stuff at the top will disappear, and I'll be selective on the lower ones. If I have little shoots at the lower parts, if they are well at 1/2 or 1/3 of the tree, I'll probably let them grow, especially at the sides and the back of the forest, and it would be nice to have some major branches. Also, something that I'm trying to keep in mind is that the branches, the thickness has to make sense. So a very thick branch in the top is not very thick. If you compare it to the trunk, it is rather perfect. But then this one is very small, so well, I can do two things. I can let it grow, but then I don't have to touch it. I can make it grow for 1 meter if I want. It's going to look silly one year, but that's what you have to do if you want to thicken it. But if you want a branch here, well, yeah, yes, you can but hope that you will get one. Branches growing down like this has to be removed. All these branches here, you see there is nothing on this branch, just one little bit here. But so maybe if I remove a whole lot of the material here, I get new budding, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I hope you get the point. If something is not clear, well, of course you can always ask questions. Not that my English is perfect when I have to write it, but I can always try to give an answer in a next video. So I'm going to work, and I'm gonna put this on and off. Okay, so let's go. Just a little wire here to make a nice top. I think I'm almost there. Now is also a good moment to remove some of the bigger stumps, especially the ones that are already dry. For example, this one is a stump from last year, so you can hollow it out a little. It takes a few years to close this hole, but it's nice when it's done, so it really is a good idea. And there are also some stumps here and here at the back of branches that I probably can clean up a little, so I'm going to do that too. There's also a big stump at the top of the main tree, which I'm going to try to clean. So an important thing in cleaning these wounds is that maple trees, they will probably make new buds here, which is of course very interesting. They try to close the gaps, so that's the way they do it. They make a new bud at the scars. So yeah, I'm going to use that in the future, if one comes, of course. I'm not sure. So this is what we have now. Very wet because it's been raining for days now. This is the first sunny day we have here in weeks. and I'll probably find some more little things that I want to snip off. And because I'm snipping off stuff now, well, probably in the coming weeks there will be new buds, and then of course, well, when you take a walk, you will have to remove maybe some more. I think this forest is starting to show some maturity, and I'm kind of pleased with it. So the best thing to do now is let it grow. Of course, when you cut off a whole lot of things like I did, it is nice to clean up the surface of your forest or your pots. And well, that's it. I hope you liked the video. I enjoyed the nice weather and I enjoyed the trees. So thank you for watching and see you next time.